Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. Today I've got a review for you, and that review is of the new Tier 7 French battleship, the Richelieu. I've played several games in the ship. I don't have it fully upgraded or modded yet because I like to spend my silver really quickly and not have enough left over to mod it. So I'm going to go over a little bit of the ship stats as the battle starts progressing here. You'll notice we are on Haven and we are spawned on the weak side in a domination mode game. So I am going to play this kind of the way that I would like to play Haven in my review or not my review, but my strategy video of part 2 of how to play Haven. Anyway, so the Richelieu here. You'll notice right off the bat, it has 52,320 XP on my build. That is a little bit lower than the base XP of 54,500 because I am running Jaujard with his Megalomania skill, which decreases the max health of the battleship by a percentage, but also decreases the time the battleship takes to be undetectable after firing its guns, and that is something I am using on all of my French battleships, of course. But anyway, the HP on this thing, it is the lowest base HP, even without this Jaujard skill at the tier. And that's pretty much the same story as all of the French battleships down the line. They are all pretty low HP. Now it's got 35% torpedo damage reduction, which is decent. This New Orleans here is really irritating me. As you can see, he's spotted. He thinks he's in a good place, but nope, citadeled. This thing, of course, like all battleships, and like the French ships that come before it in the tech tree, is a cruiser killer. And I believe this New Orleans may be the first kill of this game. But speaking of killing things, the guns that you use to kill things. Now, you'll notice that there are 8 guns. Oh, and there is that New Orleans. He thought he was safe behind that island, but he was still spotted, and I had a shot on him, so he goes down. Where was I? Okay, the guns. There are 8 of them. They are 380 millimeter guns. And they are mounted on 2 turrets of 4 guns each. The Leon had 4 turrets of 4 guns each. I believe the Normandy has 3 turrets of 4 guns each. This is the turret setup peculiar to the French battleships. The firing range on these things, 17.6 kilometers on my build, and with Jaujard's Megalomania perk, 28.5 second reload time. I'm going to speed that up with the main battery mod in slot 4, which I think will be very useful. Now here we're firing, I believe, or we're about to fire HE on this Tirpitz. Now the HE shells on this thing, max HE damage 5400, which is, not the highest at the tier, but it has a 36% fire starting chance, which is right up there with the Vanguard, which has a 38% fire chance. The Vanguard, by the way, also has 8 guns, but they are not mounted right in the front. So in order to shoot all 8 of them at the target, you have to open up your angle enough to get them all on target. This thing you can bow tank all day. And you'll notice I am doing my best impression of the Iowa here, reversing, because that is really it's not the only way you can kite away in this ship. I should probably talk about the turret firing angles on this thing. So they are pretty good, actually. You can be moving away from a target angled at them effectively, or angled away from them effectively, and still have your guns shoot not directly behind you, obviously, but they can shoot pretty far back, and you'll see that, I think, in the second game here. For now, we're about to take this Tirpitz down, get him for the rest of his health. So yeah, fire starting chance on this ship, I think, pretty strong. Now, the max AP damage on my build, 12,614. I don't have the Vanguard, but I can tell you that that damage number is better than the stock Vanguard. And it is better than my Bismarck, which I think is that's my Bismarck with von Hipper. So it's better than my Bismarck by about 300 points. And I do know, just from researching on the internet, or at least I am under the impression that this thing has a very, very high shell velocity. So I think that impacts, I don't know if that impacts damage, but it certainly would impact the penetration. We take down that Kagero for what looks like our third kill of this match. So yeah, so I feel like the AP and the HE are both very decent on this ship, or these shells. And you can see now, I don't know if I'm gonna angle these as far back, but you can see I'm at an angle here as I'm shooting at this Iowa, and my guns are still able to hit him for nothing, just a bounce. But so I guess that doesn't show exactly how far back they can angle. They can angle further than that. Interesting thing about the Richelieu, it's I mean, you'll notice right away, if you're familiar with the premium Tier 5 French battleship, the Dunkirk. I do not own that ship, but if you are familiar with it, it has the same turret setup as the Richelieu. And I believe the Richelieu historically was designed to essentially be a bigger version of the Dunkirk. And a lot of its design choices, such as I think its speed and all that other kind of stuff, were made so that it could operate in tandem with the Dunkirk. And unfortunately, unless somebody failed divisions up into a Tier 7 battle, I don't think you'll ever see the Richelieu and Dunkirk operating side by side on this game, because I believe the Dunkirk is Tier 5 and this is Tier 7. Talk about maneuverability on this thing as we approach this reversing Vanguard. We're going to lead him, I think, a little too much there. Yep, not a lot to show for it. This thing feels decently maneuverable. It's got a max speed of 28.3 knots on my build. And turn circle radius of 850 meters, rudder shift time of 17.2 seconds. Now, none of these stats are extremely mind-blowing or anything. I think, oh, is that an Atago? Wallet Warriors hiding behind that island there. This is the first day the Atago has been released, and this guy clearly bought one. He is using it to annoying effect to HE spam me. Oh, and the state of this game, not great. Earlier I had asked for my teammates, who pretty much were all concentrated on the strong side of the spawn, to go and at least try and capture C. And I don't know if they tried to, but if they did try to, they failed, and we are desperately behind on points, although we are almost even on ships. So winning this game might be a little tricky. Anyway, I think that may be all I have to say about the stats of this ship. So we're going to watch this battle play out, and then I'm going to also talk about how the battle goes, and I have got, I guess, a bonus battle for you attached to this one. The one after this is the highest damage I've gotten so far in this ship. Like I said, I've played, I don't know, 7-10 games or so in it. And that in that battle, there are some things that occur that that made me very, very salty at the time, but I think are good learning tools, perhaps. And this battle obviously is not going well. We have an Iowa in front of us who was bow tanking us, but is inexplicably turning broadside. Unfortunately, we don't get to punish him as much as he should be punished for making this move. I honestly don't know why. Well, there we go. Our teammate punishes him. I don't know why he is making this move, but I mean, we are going to finish him off now for the 4th kill. But we are in a lot of trouble here. We are taking fire from that Attigo, and I believe there's another Iowa behind us. Oh, you'll notice also that this ship does come equipped with a speed boost, and that boosts the speed of the ship by 8%. And it is quite a useful thing on this ship. I should talk maybe a little bit about my build as we take fire, or as we open fire on this Gneisenau here. I only have 2 mods installed right now because I don't want to pay the money quite yet for the rest of them. I've got other uses for my silver, but I've got the Aiming Systems Mod 1 installed, which is pretty much what I use on all battleships in order to give a dispersion buff. We are firing HE there. We get a nice hit on the Gneisenau and light him on fire. We are about to be taken out by the enemies on our rear. And you can see here I am playing with the rudder to try and throw off the Gneisenau. He can't get a lot of guns on me. He's only got 1 rear turret with 2 guns, and it should be very difficult for him to hit me. I send another HE salvo off at him, get another incapacitation. I'm hoping to start a fire just in case I die. The fire will be able to finish him off, and my death seems likely. What was I saying? I can't remember. I'm getting too caught up in the moment. Well, whatever. Here we go. Taking a shot at the Gneisenau, who is almost on no health. And that gives us the Kraken Unleashed, which we may have achieved by some kill stealing, but we have it nonetheless. So that's always a nice thing. I remember what I was talking about. The build that I have on this ship. So first mod slot is the Aiming Systems mod. Oh, look at this. We have 1 ship left, but they are so ahead on, or they have 1 ship left, but they're so ahead on points that it's going to be difficult for my team to kill it. Anyway, aiming systems mod in the first slot, and I have the steering gears mod in the second slot. But I think you could make a strong case for the propulsion mod, because and I think I might actually change to that, because slowing down or speeding up or getting up to speed and reversing into speed seem like they will be very important things. It'll be very important for you to be able to get up to speed quickly in this ship and also to start reversing quickly. So I believe I'm probably going to change to the propulsion mod and deal with the stock rudder shift time. 22 seconds left in this game. Unfortunately, we are not going to be able to finish off the enemy at a go, so the enemy team is going to win in 10 seconds, which is unfortunate. I've run into a lot of games today where my team just doesn't necessarily do what they should, but end result of this battle here, take a look. 71,000 damage, that's nothing spectacular. Kraken unleashed. We are number 2 in the team behind the Amagi, but not by much. And on the economy tab, we did end up earning or grossing or profiting 168,000 credits for it. So, on to the next battle now. Now, this is the one that made me salty at the time, and you're gonna notice why right off the bat. This is the third game that I had played in the Richelieu, and I very nearly get a Kraken in this game, and if I had, it would have been much better earned than in the previous game. But well, take a look to the left at this Benson over here. Watch what he does. So I am putting my ship into the forward motion just a little bit, and this Benson is going to park behind this island and stay there. And stay there. So I say dash it all. Neptune's beard. Actually found a use for that thing on the command wheel. I do get on my mic here and I politely suggest to this Benson that perhaps he should go out and spot, because another destroyer is spotting me, and essentially that is his job, and perhaps he should do it and help his team out. I don't know if he doesn't speak English. I think the name of the player is German, and he does not respond to me or appear to want to listen to me. So I say, alright, whatever. There's some enemy torpedoes there in the water. I'm going to move forward a little bit and see if I can start taking shots at anything, but I'm concerned that this destroyer is somewhere over here where I'm pointing my guns, and he will be able to kill me. I launch a plane up into the air, and we have an Attigo and a Bismarck over there. Yep, there's some torpedoes. I believe this destroyer, it's either a Mas or an Akatsuki. I think those are Akatsuki torpedoes. And this guy in the Benson, you see how he peeks out? I don't want to rag on a player too much, but you see how he peeks out behind the island and then just reverses right back into it as if he thinks the Bismarck is going to see him from this kind of distance. I really don't know what's going through this guy's head. He doesn't really seem to... I can't think of any reason why he would peek around that island and then look back, because well, I guess the Attigo is there. Perhaps that's why. But even so, that Attigo is way too far away to spot him. Speaking of the Attigo, I'm going to take a shot at him. I don't think that hit at all. So here's more torpedoes coming from two different directions. So both destroyers are over here probably. Yeah, 4 torpedoes, that is definitely the Mas, and the 3 torpedoes in the other direction is the Akatsuki. This Benson could be providing tremendous value to our team by finding these guys, and I'm sure he could kill at least the Akatsuki. Probably the Mas too. Benson is a strong ship, but of course one of the destroyers is able to take out one of the friendly ships with a torpedo probably, and this Benson has decided he is going to open fire with his guns on a battleship while he is capping A. So at least he's capping. He's doing something semi-useful. This is just a good illustration of how you don't want to play destroyers. There are so many other choices this guy could have made that would have been so much better, and I'm talking too much about him, so enough about him. Here's the Atago. We got another wallet warrior here, unless this guy's a community contributor and is able to... Oh, I still had the microphone on. You can hear... I guess that Benson guy doesn't probably understand English. It sounded like he was speaking German. Anyway, we've got a wallet warrior here, unless it's a community contributor. I don't know. But we take a shot off at him, and we ruin his nice new premium with a devastating strike and send him to the bottom of the ocean, which I have to admit was quite a satisfying thing for me. Now I'm looking to come around this island and try to get my guns on this Bismarck. Let's see. He is broadside, so take a shot. Don't get a whole lot on that. The accuracy on these guns is... I feel like it's quite trollish. It's a bit like the Japanese accuracy. And I guess it's sort of the same as the accuracy on like the Lyon and the other French battleships. It's sometimes the dispersion, it's like you're shooting a shotgun, you know, and then other times those things group up so nicely and it's so precise, you don't know what you're gonna get. So that's part of the reason that I want to get the mod in the 4th slot that increases the reload. Unfortunately, we're kind of in a bad position here. Our Benson is still in the cap circle with us, and one of the destroyers is spotted on the map. These guys are going to come for me since I am a stationary target here. I'm stopped here waiting for this Bismarck to get out of secondary range so I can maybe put out this fire. And I don't know if he's running a full secondary build or what, but he's not getting out of range fast, so switching to HE on him. Gonna take a shot. He is out of secondary range and the fire is out, so don't get a fire on him, but nice 5,000 damage, which is, you know, pretty good for a little HE salvo like that. Now we have got an Iowa, and I realize I am stationary here in this ship, and I mean torpedoes to starboard. So okay, now one of the destroyers is behind us. It is the Akatsuki, which the Benson could have engaged earlier, but chose not to in favor of hiding behind an island. So this is a problem. We have run aground. Need to reverse, and this is a situation in which the propulsion mod would have come in quite handy. Locking my guns here. There's the Akatsuki. Now, I do not have guns on the rear of my ship. Well, I do have guns, but they are secondaries. We do get a secondary hit off this thing. Now, this thing has, I think 150 millimeter secondaries on the rear of the ship, but they are all of those secondaries, the 150 millimeter ones, maybe they're not 150, I don't know. The biggest caliber ones are concentrated on the rear of the ship. There are some secondaries on the sides of the ship, but those, I believe, are much smaller caliber. They're 100 millimeter guns. And I will say that a secondary build on this ship I don't think would in any way be useful. It's not really useful on any ship in the game, although it is very fun on the Nassau. But on this ship in particular, I would strongly advise that you never do a secondary build. The secondaries did score a hit on that Akatsuki. Oh, we take out the Bismarck there. And oh, look at this. We've got the Moss over here who would like to come and torp us. We are completely pretty much on our own. The Benson is somewhere off to our starboard side, too far away to help us with these enemy destroyers who are on either side of us, so we are going to reverse. This Tirpitz is sailing forward, just asking for us to citadel him. So we take the shot. We don't citadel him, but we do 29,000 damage, so he's probably regretting that move right there. And I am trying to make sure I put this island between me and any possible torpedoes that Moss might have launched. Somebody takes out our spotter plane, so we will not be able to see the torpedoes until it's too late. But we are going to finish off this pesky Tirpitz and shut his secondaries up. Oh, we've got a Bismarck whose secondaries are firing at us too. Secondaries, they are annoying when they start fires. I'll give them that. So that's a nice thing to have on the Bismarck, I suppose. They'd be much more effective if they were manual secondaries. I watched a video the other day, or if they had a manual focus function. Oh, here's that Moss. No health. He's an easy kill. There he goes. I don't think he launched torps. We might have gotten him before he did, but there is still that Akatsuki to worry about, which, by the way, it would be very helpful if that Benson were around here to help us with that Akatsuki, but instead he is firing his guns at, it looks like the Iowa, and attempting to torpedo the Iowa, and there's those torpedoes from the Moss. They miss us, so we are going to go forward again because I think that Akatsuki is somewhere lurking around behind us. We don't want to take torps from him. Secondaries, though. I wish there was a way you could manually focus your secondaries in this game. Because I was watching a video the other day with a Bismarck in the World of Warships PC game, and that guy had a full secondary build on his Bismarck and was able to manually focus them on targets, and the PC version of the game breaks down the damage at the end of the battle by what it is caused by. And this guy did like 300,000 damage, alright? And he did almost half of that with his secondaries. Just with the base damage that these secondary shells put out, and also like 20,000 damage from fires by the secondaries. Here is... Oh, that was the Akatsuki that we killed. What am I even talking about in this thing? There's the Moss. He is going to launch torps at us, and we are turning the wrong way. Take one in the propeller, and we are not able to shoot at the Moss because our guns cannot go that far back. So we're going to move forward, try and get away from him. There is the Bismarck. We are in a bad situation now, but this Bismarck is broadside to us, so it's possible we'll be able to finish him off. Although I believe that Iowa over there does want a piece of us. So we're going to take this Bismarck out. If we can, it would be a Kraken. Take 20,000 HP off of him. Another salvo may do it, but we are on fire. And that Iowa has decided he wants to shoot at us because we are a low health target. I should say the bow armor on this thing seems to be quite strong. Seems to be capable of bouncing shells even from the Iowa. Certainly from this Bismarck, he is getting looks like some superstructure penetrations and stuff, but I mean, bow tanking in this thing works. Unfortunately, we are dead. We do not have the Kraken unleashed in this game, and we are sitting at 134,000 damage, which is the highest number I've done so far in this ship. That's okay. I'm sure once I get the hang of it, I'll be able to do more than that. Unfortunately, the Benson is the only one left on the team. He has pretty much not accomplished anything at all this game. But what can you do? Anyway, that is my review of the Richelieu. I found myself quite enjoying this ship. I haven't been enjoying the games that I've been playing today when I was getting the footage for all this. But I do enjoy this ship, and I don't regret spending the money on it. It was either it or the Amagi, and I wanted to go with it because, you know, the Amagi, it's been in the game for a while. I've got an idea of how it is, but I wanted to see what the Richelieu was like, and I'm glad that I was able to do that. So, if you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Got a lot more World of Warships Legends content coming. Also, if you want to join my PlayStation Network community, just look me up on there and join it. If you're so inclined. Well, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.